Hey, good morning, Nord. How's it going, man?
Going well.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Excited for the weekend ahead. We had a lot of fun last weekend, so it'll be good
Yeah,
to chat about that and see what new news we've got going on.
sounds good.
Let's see if Lambda makes it on here, but we can get going. So, welcome back to the Super Phoenix Sports Space. Last Sunday, we had our first big shooter event. For those that weren't able to make it, it's a pretty awesome time. So, we stepped away from the racetrack. We moved into the arena, and I thought overall the feedback, you know, for the experience, I think was well. I felt like the players had a great time. What was your impression right off the bat, just with the event?
Yeah, absolutely. I think considering we had to make that kind of short notice pivot, just because of game functionality and those couple of things, which we're all over. So Racer will be coming back here soon, but it went awesome. I think the team did a phenomenal job. The stream looked great. The players had a great time. The feedback was really good. Yeah, it was really positive. So for being just kind of an open match, if you will, and again, really short notice, we had just amazing participation. I think within 2 days or whatever it was, we had at least 8 4-man teams that were ready to rock and roll, which was amazing. So we kind of had to break it up into 2 weekends. Originally, it was just going to be last weekend, and then we'd hop back to Racer. But because we had so much interest, we've got the other 4 teams who still wanted to duke it out. But we got them scheduled now for this Sunday. So, like I said, response has been great. They had a great time. We still got prizes out to the winning team, which was Chimera's Alpha team last week. And
Yes.
we'll kind of see how it goes here with the new teams. We're going to be, let's see, who are we running this weekend? It's Afia, Solana Guild Gaming, or Gaming Guild, sorry, Soul GG, a Gaming Guild.
Yep.
And we've got Rome, and then we've got Chimera's B team, right?
Nice. Yeah, that was quite a battle. I loved the first match especially because I felt like it was exactly what you wanted, a game three. It was a comeback win from down with like a minute and 15 seconds left, and they just came back and pulled off the win. And that was the kind of like energy I think that a shooter can bring, where you're like, oh, it looks like it's going one way, and then the momentum just completely shifts
Yep.
and made for an exciting ending.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, they did a great job, and I think we might be switching it up a little bit. Lanzer might have more info on it. We'll see. Just because we're attempting to try a couple of different game modes in these early,
Yep.
so we'll kind of see how that goes. But yeah, the one last weekend was great, right? They did best 2 out of 3 for each of the matches, and then effectively 3 rounds of those. And it was kind of that game mode style where you sort of had to, claim those different rings, right? Those different regions of
Yep.
territory, which is a little bit different style than just the full on, open shooter, max kill type stuff. So, yeah, so I think they did a great job. It was a lot of fun. It was really entertaining and kind of went back and forth. Again, the players, some of the players on those teams are just, they're really, really quality folks who have been playing the game for a while and clearly have a lot of experience, which is,
Yeah, some of them were pretty nasty out there, man. Just the amount of like where they're blasting and able to like spin themselves up and upper to the upper level and
yeah,
tweaking back around and popping a shot and getting a kill. Yeah, it was fun to see the game like fully being played in the shooter mode since I spent so much time more in the racing and that's what all we were really focused on for so long
yeah,
and it was fun to see the different aspects because you kind of knew if you'd done some shooter or if you'd done some of the tests and such that the fun was there and the entertainment was there, and so it was fun to actually see it in play competitively.
yeah, I agree. It's, very clear. There's two different kind of versions of talent that you kind of need to have when you're doing either the racer version versus the shooter version, right? It's just different mechanics, different gameplay, and it creates a different, I think, viewer experience as well. Like they're both intense for different reasons. In the racing, I think can be because it's very individualized versus kind of team sport mentality shooter, and so it's kind of cool for for the individual players who are really kind of max players in that racing environment. It's still amazing to watch, just like a really dialed operator,
Yeah,
race those tracks, which is cool. And the environment is so much larger. It's really engaging from kind of that perspective. Watching the races, and And in a season mode, that's where an individual can really start to kind of build momentum and kind of build a fan base and, that whole point system. So it's really well versed in kind of a longer term, kind of, like I said, season style setup. Whereas the shooters can be, we're also going to look to do kind of seasonal type stuff with them too eventually, but they're really great at these kind of one-off head-to-head competitions where people are just kind of duking it out. And so there's a whole nother kind of spectator, entertainment component of that too. When matches
Yeah.
or they're really close and you got, well matched, teams and that kind of stuff, it makes for just a really cool experience. So I'm glad that we're kind of playing. And I would say definitely in the next few weeks here, we'll get everybody to back on track with the racer. And then ultimately, if everything goes well next month, we want to be kind of hosting both pretty much every.
Right.
Be awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. I love seeing that, we've seen names in both racer and shooter where you're like, oh, they just got good hand-eye coordination no matter what. They're good in both game modes too. So it's fun to see who can succeed in both, and some are just overpowered at one and such, but
Yep.
gamers are going to game, man. So it's fun to see the different names popping up again and getting called out, so we get used to hearing them in the racing side of things, but it's fun to hear it on the shooter side too.
I think it's really glad that we're doing this for a whole bunch of different reasons, right? We're part of, Super Phoenix DAO overall, and we've created Super Phoenix Sports, and this is the whole project. But ultimately, we're really creating kind of an environment here now, a consistent environment for these players to compete and really play. Because obviously the match has been around, and people can kind of hop in and out of the lobbies and they can play their own skirmishes as they want, and that's what people have been kind of doing here up to this point. And I'm sure that's still a lot of fun, and they're having good times with it, and they're playing within their teams and their guilds and that kind of stuff. But there hasn't been, I mean, there's been a couple of tournaments, organic tournaments in the community, just one-offs here and there. But there really hasn't been a consistent platform or organization like we're bringing to the table, which I'm really excited about. I think it's really, obviously it's great for us. I think there's a lot of demand for it. We're happy putting it out, but it's really clear the players are into it, man. They really like having this kind of structured setup where they can, reliably get in and compete on a level that creates kind of, rivalries. There's kind of a point system. There's kind of a hierarchy that can be created. And so I think it just adds another dimension to just the open gameplay itself.
Yeah, I think it's kind of that next level of not commitment, but next level of entertainment, being able to participate, but beyond that, competitively. I think that's where we kind of see with daily fantasy stuff and with brackets that we're going to talk about here, that added level, whether you're watching an NFL game or you're watching a race or you're having a little more stake in the game or participation in the game and a ranking system and such. Those are all different things that add to that entertainment and the fun factor. I think that's what you've mentioned in the past, that added level of, we're talking about these brackets and wagering and such, and that makes it even more entertaining for those that aren't even playing, but watching and enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, there's a few layers to it, and we're kind of building them out, piece by piece. But yeah, that's the idea.
Oh, it was fun, man. It was a fun way to kick off and really kind of test. I think it pushed our team a little bit to be more flexible and to pivot quickly. And I know you and Lanzer were probably kind of down to the wire to wait to see what direction to go. But once you guys made the decision, I think the team was awesome at pivoting and getting ready. And it was the first time casting it, and it was the first time producing it. And there's things to learn always along the way. Everything we've done, we've learned something new along the way. But I thought overall it was a great pivot and a great experience. And we've got some fun notes that we had to kind of build off of and keep growing. And viewership wise, I was at the computer watching all the chats and the different streams and such. And one of the things we added this week, this event, was streaming on X as well. We had Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and X, and we actually had our most viewership coming from X. So that was fun to see. I think we ended the stream with Right at the end of the event, we had 174 concurrent viewers across all platforms, which was, I think, our high point versus the first event and such. So that was fun to see. It was great to have a new outlet and to see that there's opportunity to grow the viewership. I think if we had even gone on another half hour, we would have easily been in the 200s, maybe 300, because just the way the viewership was growing, we seemed to have hit a good stride of growth as time went on. So yeah, it was that for me. That was a fun metric to see on the support side.
Uh, Absolutely agreed. I think it was impressive, to be honest, because again, we kind of changed things up a little bit. You know, there was a few things that were so much short notice as far as how we delivered everything on Sunday, but it was phenomenal and it went off without a hitch. I think the streams were great, and the uptick on Twitch and live on X were amazing. And honestly, it surpassed our initial expectations for sure. Honestly, for being brand new and kind of out of the gate here, if we were somewhere between 20 and 50 concurrent, viewers, I was going to be pretty happy with that out of the gate. And we just blew that out of the water, which is awesome. So, I mean, it feels really good to know that people are enjoying it, that they're interested in it, that there's demand for it. I completely agree. The more we start rocking out these events now consistently in that same time slot every week, I think we're going to pick up more viewership, people paying attention, which is awesome. And then hopefully we can kind of build up some momentum to some of the larger matches that we're planning here for the end of the month. So yeah, it's really exciting. That was a great first out of the gate, like you said, kind of metric and example of just kind of what people are interested in.
100%. It was a yeah. I had a great time just as a viewer, but also from the team side, seeing the numbers and looking for opportunities. We talked as a team afterwards about things that went well, and then everybody had different ideas about ways we can improve and build on the support side. We were taking notes and chatting in a group chat as well during the stream, and seeing things that we could tweak or adjust or fix, or something might need to look a little different, or a color might need changed and stuff. And this is that fine tuning things, and it's a yeah. I think the next one will be even better. It'll be even more fun, and we can hopefully hit that 200, 300, 400 viewership as we keep building this momentum. So, wow,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I think it was a great turnout. Happy to keep it going. And I'll be honest, I had being behind the scenes was really fun too. I had the stream going on one screen, and then obviously I can see everything that the team was Discord. And it was great. It was a well-oiled machine, right? People were in the place they needed to be. Racers were communicating. Like it was really seamless to kind of watch both the front end and the back end kind of simultaneously. So again, just yeah, it was really impressive. I think it worked great. Feel good about what we have coming the next few weeks.
So speaking of that, so next few weeks we've got events, but I think you shared a little bit about brackets and some updates on the bracket side of things, the website side of things. Would you want to share a little about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, so the brackets are functional. They're up and running. We're going to continue to be, adding some polish to the website for sure. But it is totally functional. People can hop on to superphoenixsports.com, hit the connect button or play to connect. It instantly, looks to grab your wallet. Then you set up a real quick profile, just kind of username and setup, and then instantly you're in the kind of bracket creation or making your picks window, which now we've got a little bit more visual, kind of looks more bracket like. Now these are relatively small brackets, of course, because we're just doing 4 teams and 3 matches. But as we grow that out, people will see the larger style as we do some of those bigger tournaments in the future. Um, yeah, so it's all there. It's all functional. It's a bit easier to view. I think you just go in and kind of click the buttons next to the team you want, continue on, and then it kind of runs you through the purchase setup. Which I guess we could do that real quick here. The announcement for today is, being that we're this is so new and we're just trying to get users in to check it out and give us feedback. And being that this is kind of an exhibition style, open match here this weekend, we're going to go ahead and just let brackets be completely open to the public for free for this Sunday. So I'd encourage folks to just get out there, check it out, try to make a bracket, and post it. There'll still be like minimal gas fees as far as your Solana wallet goes, but other than that, it's completely free to throw in. and we're gonna have the same prize pool. So, bracket winners will still be broken out into kind of the top 5 slots, and we'll be giving out about $250 cash across those top 5 slots just for placing a bracket. So I would encourage everybody to come and check it out. Work through the couple of clicks, and get a bracket out there. We'll obviously be soliciting feedback, kind of after it to see how things go, but we're happy to throw it out there completely free of charge this weekend, so that we can kind of get the ball rolling and get people comfortable with what we got going on the website.
That's fun. That's great. It's a good test for us, and it's a fun way for people to try it out and get, see how it works, get comfortable with it and such, and not have to worry about how much they're placing, and really get a feel for it. So that'll be fun to share out there. We'll definitely get that on X today and let people know so we can get some max exposure and get people interested in hopping on and trying it out, man, putting it through the stress test.
It's real quick, but we've got about I don't know, a minute or so, or I don't know, it's probably even under, maybe a 30-second video that just kind of walks through the 2 or 3 screens and a couple of clicks. So again, it's really easy. It's real user friendly. So yeah, I encourage people to just go check it out. Give it a shot.
Sweet. I will definitely just got to walk through myself and take a look and watch the video, and we'll make sure people can see that and get it shared out to the different discords and communities that we're working with. All right. So I think that, I was going to check in with Lancer on a couple things, but I think we're pretty good on that side, but I wanted to just see, just kind of talk about next week. So you mentioned a little bit about game modes. Do you know what that change might be, if there's something in play for that?
A little bit. I think I'm not sure. I think the team might be kind of finalizing that here today, but
Okay.
I think, we went best of 3 and we are kind of doing the territorial mode. I understand probably going to do the kind of straight on, uh, elimination type mode. And I think we're going to try to just do single match games. So the games might run a little bit longer depending on, how evenly matched the teams are. But
Okay.
I'm going to do, we're not going to do best of 3 this time. I think we're just going to do straight on kind of single elimination, single match, so that we can still fit within our hour time frame for all 3 matches.
Okay.
We'll go into the other game mode, so it won't be the territorial version. And so then this will make for probably a little bit longer gameplay itself in each mode, or I'm sorry, each match. But then,
Right.
like I said, we won't do best of 3 then, which we'll kind of see. I know there's going to be comments on that because
Well, it's good to try out different game modes and get a feel.
yeah,
We're learning the shooter side of things,
mm-hmm.
and so I think it's good to see what works and what the players enjoy doing.
I know some players are big the best of 3. Obviously, anybody can have kind of a bad go, right? And you feel like maybe it's you need another shot. But again, we're trying to extend the gameplay a little bit in each of the matches, and then but still keep it in our time frame. And so again, this is a bit of a test on sort of the stream side and the team side, and kind of the spectator thing and what we can offer. But again, there's a lot of other game modes and some fun applications that we can do later on as well, with this. And so we want to just get a feel for a couple of the different versions here, go into like the real, kind of major tournament that we're going to be hosting at the end of the month.
Definitely. Well, I come from more of a Call of Duty background and such, and you see that a lot of the events um, rotate game modes too. So you're getting like, one time they're playing a hard point, another time they're playing team deathmatch and such. And so there's different, you kind of rotate through and some variations, even when you do like a best of 3 or a best of 5 and such. So, um, yeah, it's good to get that feel and see what actually works on this platform best, and what viewers like and what players like.
Yeah, absolutely. All the feedback too. We, I guarantee there's going to be a few folks that maybe aren't happy with the change up from what it was last week. But again, we're just going to progress through a couple of different options and give everybody the opportunity to try it out and see what they like and see what they don't like. And yeah, that'll help us kind of hone things in for kind of optimal, situations that we want to set up for players and for spectators and everything else going forward.
Great. I think that those are the major things I wanted to cover this week. We will probably have a couple team members on next week to kind of share what they do on the operations and production side. We'll bring those forward, and then we also have a sponsor that we were going to have today, but it didn't work out timing wise, so we'll try to get them on as well. If you're interested in participating, if you're interested in learning about more about the bracket system and whatnot, please feel free to jump in our Discord, reach out if you need help finding that, or check out the profile for links. And if you're interested in a sponsorship or partnering with us, we'd love to chat with you as well. We're always open to figuring out a way to make something that's beneficial for both parties. So feel free to reach out to any of the team members here and they can get you connected. So any final thoughts as we wrap up?
No, I would just say, we're going to be running it again this Sunday. I hope to see everybody there, and obviously check out the brackets. Like I said, they're going to be open on the website as of now. The teams that are playing are all in there. They're scheduled. They're ready to go, so anybody can hop in and make picks. And like I said, we're going to have it just kind of free of charge and open to the public for this weekend to see how everything goes.
You can't lose. You can't lose anything out of the free to play. So
All up.
I think definitely go try it out. And we want feedback. Feedback's important. So we hope everybody can kind of jump in, and we'll share some of the information online on the X account as well, so people can reference that. And if you don't have time to listen to the entire thing, the content will be there for you to just read through quickly and get people over to the website and trying it out.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Well, I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll be chatting probably through the weekend and on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to it. Until then, y'all have a nice one.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.